Welcome to the XLMOTO Garage, where today we're going to talk about why earplugs matter. In particular, what kind of earplugs are available and what materials are available, how you use them, and what kind of riding you should use for the different earplugs. So let's move on with the earplugs. Okay, so we're going to start with the most basic of earplugs, and this is essentially a foam earplug. They're super easy to use, they're cheap, they're disposable, they're not intended to be used for many months riding, but they do make life very easy. The only downside to these is that they do block out all the noise, which is not what you always want, because you want to be able to hear what's going on around you. You want to know, hear the engine, you want to hear whether there are cars. So while these are good, they're not necessarily the best. But if you're on short commutes, these is a great option. So all you need to do, you take your earplug out, you compress the foam, and once compressed, you place it into your ear. Once it's in the ear, the foam will then expand, taking up the space, and that means that you will get a complete blockage around the ear and there will be no additional noise coming out. As I say, the only downside to these is it does block all the noise, so you don't necessarily hear what's going on around you, which is always quite important. But for the money, a great earplug which will save your hearing. If we want something that's going to last a little bit more longer, perhaps we're going on a longer ride, it might be like for a couple of weeks or something, and you want something that you can use several times, then we're looking at silicone earplugs. Now, silicone earplugs, as it suggests, are made from silicone, and they come pretty much as a flat shape, which you're then able to mold to your particular ear. Okay, so your standard silicone earplug, for a start, it acts with heat, so you have to mold it into your shape. Once you've pressed it a couple of times to get a nice conical shape, then you can place it into your ear, and once it's placed into the ear, you can firmly press with your thumb, not too hard, and it will block up the ear canal. Now, these are slightly better than the foam plugs, and they will certainly block out a lot more of the noise, but again, it's going to also block out any additional noise from traffic. You're not going to be able to hear your bike as much, and you're not going to be able to kind of hear what's going on in the surroundings. However, it does provide a lot more blockage than the standard foam plug, and it's also reusable. So afterwards, once it's been shaped, you can take the earplug out, and it's already pre-shaped to your ear. So the next time you put it back in, it simply goes back in and it will fit back into the same position. Next up, we have filtered earplugs. Now, filtered earplugs are probably towards the upper end of the scale in terms of protecting your hearing, but they also do allow you to hear what's going on around. So a filtered earplug, such as this, has a small hole through it. So it allows the noise to still move in, but it filters out the high wind noise and it protects your hearing. In order to put these in, it comes with a small applicator that you take. You place it into the applicator, and once it's in, you're able to push that into your ear canal. Wait until you get a nice snug feel, and then you can pull it out. Now here, it's going to block the wind noise and the excessive frequency, but I can still hear. So these are great earplugs if you want something that you can feel and hear what's going on around you, but you want to still protect your hearing. And finally, to remove these, there is a small tab on the end, and you simply pull that out, and then you can place it back into the case when you're not riding for the next time you're out again. Finally, if you really want to have the creme de la creme of earplugs, you can actually have fitted earplugs. Now, these are usually available from specialist retailers because they do need to take a mold of your ear. But you can generally have a look online and find somebody that will provide these, and they are actually the best type of earplugs that are possible because they are fitted to your internal ear shape, because everybody has slightly different ears. So in summary, if you wish to protect your hearing, then you should really be wearing earplugs. If you're going for shorter commutes, then perhaps something like one of the standard foam earplugs will work because they're just for short commuter journeys. If you're looking for something where you're just going to be riding for that little bit longer, maybe the odd day out here and there, then certainly a silicone earplug will work exceedingly well. But obviously both of these do block a certain amount of noise. And finally, if you're looking for something that's going to block the noise, but you're still going to be able to hear and be reusable time and time again, then a filtered earplug is probably going to be the best option. These particular ones, they actually come with two settings, so you can have, if you're just going for regular road rides, then the black version means that will block out the lower noises. However, if you're on a racetrack and you're going around where there's going to be a high level of noise, they actually show you that the red one will block an awful lot more of the noise. So that's basically the different types of earplugs that are available. If you have any questions, drop us a note and we'll get back to you. Many thanks. I'm Jules at the XLMOTO Garage. We'll see you next time.